Welcome back to the State Farm 2023 APP U.S. Indoor Championships. You just saw Rob Nunnery and Andre Diascu punch their ticket to the men's doubles winners bracket final. Who's going to join them? Let's find out. Michael Loyd is going to be partnered with Greg Dow. You see Loyd, 25 years old, out of Phoenix, Arizona. And he's partnered with Greg Dow, who you see there in the orange and blue hat, 27 years old, out of Charleston, if you will, South Carolina. The two of them playing together on championship court for the first time this season. And they are going to be going up against Anderson Scarpa and Mario Barrientos. Take a look at getting everybody's cleared up on sides here. While we do that, let's introduce you to Mario. 29 years old. He has one career APP gold medal. He's out of Provo, Utah. He's paired up with Anderson Scarpa. Scarpa also out of Charleston, South Carolina, 28 years old. And again, this is another new duo to us here on Championship Sunday. So walk me through, for each of these teams, what we can expect to see in terms of their style of play.
Well, Dow and Scarpa know each other extremely well because usually they're partners.
Right.
But, you know, the X factors, I think, for each of these teams, Mario Barrientos is not newer to the scene, but, you know, is not out and playing a lot of tournaments, so he has that newness factor, and he has probably some of the fastest hands on tour.
Yes. Wow.
Okay.
Like popcorn in the microwave.
Just like that.
Oh, just wide.
And two, coming off of that gearbox paddle, as you watch Barrientos using it, it's hard to hear. So it's very deceptive.
We usually judge pace off of sound, and every ball that comes off the gearbox paddle sounds the same.
Reading it well was Greg Dow in the middle, but going just a little long. He knows that shot from Anderson Scarpa.
Michael Loyd with the serve here, 0-0-2.
That's a little unconventional backhand volley there from Barrientos, but we're going to see that quite often. And he's so strong, it's kind of a wave, a roll of that punch volley. Michael Loyd not able to catch up to it.
Barrientos leaving that one just a little bit short, so pushes them on to their second serve. 0-1-2 for Anderson Scarpa.
You're going to see that too out of Michael Loyd. Michael Loyd likes to play fast. He wants to play with pace, quick, and even on his dinks, you're going to see him really pressure dink. He's not going to play that patty cake back and forth. He's going to really want to move you on his dink, so look for that too.
That time, the forehand left a little bit short.
Good spot there from Scarpa. And Scarpa is very deceptive as well. He's sitting kind of in a heavy semi-western, almost a full western grip. So his motion and his strokes completely different compared to that eastern grip. We see it right there. Heavy topspin from the reach in. Just a quick flick.
So walk us through the difference in those two grips, Western and Eastern.
All right, so if you look at the V that's created by the index finger and thumb, straight up and down the edge of the paddle is your continental. Then you go to the next bevel to the right for a right-hander or to the left for a left-hander, and you're looking at that Eastern. Go to the second bevel after that, you're at a semi-Western. If you go completely flat where that V is down the actual face of the paddle, when you stick the paddle straight out, your palms down to the ground.
Great hands there from Scarpa and Barrientos.
So Barrientos and Scarpa with the 2-1 lead here early on in game number one, excuse me.
Oh.
Almost had the Ernie, but out of reach of Barrientos' paddle. Scarpa tries to clean it up. Can't quite get it over the net, so it's going to be a side out.
Oh, Dow trying to go hard angle on the counter, but just goes a little too hard.
Speed up there from Michael Loyd, but Barrientos ready for it.
Yeah, again, quick hands there from Barrientos, just sitting on that backhand. Quick little punch.
Finally, it is Michael Loyd who gets the better of that exchange. Some of those dinks looked like they were practically skimming the top of the net cord.
That's what you call great pressure dinking right there. Michael Loyd doing a great job of handling everything that Scarpa's got for him cross court.
Good reach in there from Dow. Doesn't overhit it. Hits that through the court. Barrientos not able to catch up to it. A little bit slower paced game compared to our previous semifinal matchup.
Well, and we talked about how Will Howells, that we knew his game was going to be to get big, to be aggressive. But it seems like these two teams, it is a lot more of that point construction as he speeds it up right there. But putting together the elongated point construction.
Well, I would have thought, too, coming into this, though, we would have seen more than we just did right there from Michael Loyd.
Yeah.
He likes to play fast, likes to play, you know, that drive third. He's playing a lot more controlled than I would typically expect from him right now. Oh, nice counter from Michael Loyd as Barrientos jumps the kitchen, goes for the Ernie, doesn't get a ton on it. Tries to go right at the body here of Michael Loyd, and he just
has the hops.
Counter slash body defense.
Yeah.
Like he didn't want to get hit.
Did a nice job to jump and put himself in a position to even get a paddle on that. So 2-3-1, the score for Barrientos serve. Scarpa coming over, try and get the forehand back over the net. Leaves it short.
Watch Greg Dow dink. It's like it's a patent position that he gets in. Watch, he puts that left hand on his hip. And it's his balance point, right? And so that's what it is. So different players have different balance points of what they do with their left hand. And Greg's very obvious in what he does. He almost looks like he grabs.
I do the same thing, and I put it in the hip joint to know if I'm bending my legs or not.
And so you see Greg right there with his hand on his hip. Oh, nice spot right there from Scarpa as he goes right down the line on his typical teammate, Greg Dow.
Another look at that here. You can see that hand on the hip like you're talking about.
Coming right into your living room.
Ooh, that one just kisses the sideline off the paddle of Greg Dow. Another look here.
Ooh.
So it's a 4-2 lead here. Greg Dow with the serve. Ooh, Michael Loyd with the speed up, but again, Barrientos ready for it.
Yeah, it's a good elevated ball there from Loyd, but it's kind of moving back to the middle. Was anticipating that Barrientos was going to push it in that direction.
Oh, nice hands from Loyd in the middle, just putting his paddle in the right spot at the right time. Not even doing much with this. He's caught it.
That's a better ball there from Scarpa. Just a quick flick on that backhand side, but gets the ball down just a little bit more.
So it's 3-4-2, the score for Anderson Scarpa's serve.
Oh, wow.
Right in the center of the chest there.
And with the big inside out.
Left hip.
That time Anderson Scarpa getting big in the middle, gets on top of it, put it away.
Yeah, elevates this one. Right armpit of Dow, gets the chicken wing pop up.
Sheesh.
Oh, great hands there from Barrientos as Michael Loyd was going toe for toe with him.
And that's where it's a frustration swing on that last one from Loyd.
Stop getting the ball back.
Yeah. Oh, right foot.
Gets him right in the right foot.
The ATP from Anderson Scarpa ties us up 4-all.
Yeah, good job there from Scarpa. Patiently waits for that to develop. Then again, the heavy topspin, because of that grip, he's reaching in, he's accelerating, but one, there's not a big backswing. Two, he's creating so much topspin that that's still landing a good foot and a half inside the baseline.
Same spot almost, but this time off the paddle of Barrientos. And a timeout called.
Swing.
Timeout called on the court by Michael Loyd and Greg Dow because they recognized that 4-point swing and said, no, I'm quite tired of that. Let's talk about it. So if you are Greg and Michael, what are you talking about in this timeout?
Well, right now, the difference has been is that Scarpa has kind of been a little bit more aggressive. He's initiating some of these hands battles. He's choosing the right balls to speed up. And Barrientos has been there as support staff. For Dow and Loyd, I would say, play Barrientos a little bit more. We haven't seen Barrientos really speed many balls up yet, and the couple that he did, Dow and Loyd handled quite comfortably. So, go at Barrientos a little bit more, move him around, tie him up in between the feet, and then push out wide. Kind of isolate Scarpa a little bit, force him to try to do a little bit too much or come over to the middle, and then you can go back behind him, keep him honest. It's almost like playing mixed doubles right now.
So coming out of the timeout, it is Barrientos and Scarpa with the 6-4 lead here in game one of our men's doubles winners bracket semifinal. Winner of this gets to go against Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery for a shot at the gold medal match.
Good ball there from Loyd. Holds it on the paddle a long time. Good inside out. Pushing that ball back behind Scarpa.
So now it's a 7-4 lead here. Barrientos with the serve.
That's great return there from Michael Loyd. Goes unnoticed so many times when you have players with good returns, good aggressive returns like that. Puts so much pressure on the third shot.
Ooh. Barrientos getting out of the way of that one. Thought it was sailing long, but another look. It did not, is what the call was on the court.
That's a nice pull right there, the trigger from Greg Dow. And again, Chad, it's like you said during the timeout, need to see if they can get Barrientos involved a little more here, and that's exactly what Dow has done the past couple points.
So it'll be a 6-7-1 score for Dow's serve. Chance here to tie things up. Barrientos with the reach and the put away there.
Yeah, and this is the quick hands there of Barrientos. He's definitely a lot stronger on the backhand side compared to the forehand side. And we saw that right there. And the error there on the forehand from Barrientos.
So it makes it a tie game here in game number one. Good placement there. Anderson Scarpa causing just enough confusion. See the paddles in the middle get crossed.
So Dow is pinching to the sideline. He leaves that open to the middle because he's pinching to sit on his backhand.
Side out. That time Barrientos with the well-placed ball.
Yeah, you have to, if you're going to speed up a Barrientos, you have to try to find right shoulder, right hip, or even that box just outside of it because he sits so heavy backhand.
Time the dink left just a little bit short, so pushes them on to their second serve. Mario Barrientos with the serve, trying to extend this lead that has been hard fought here in game number one. This has been tight. Oh,
Ooh.
rejected by the net.
I thought Loyd twisted something and pulled something, but he didn't. He just kind of off-footed himself a little bit.
So it'll be a side out here, 7-8-1 for Loyd serve.
Yeah, that's not the right speed up there. Scarpa's hand's just too quick.
And if anybody knows that, it's Greg.
your drilling partner?
Now, yeah. See, I love that pattern right there from Dow and Loyd. Much better, moving the ball inside out. But when you had Dow in the middle, pushing and pushing and pushing Barrientos to the sideline, it opens so much up.
Ties us up yet again here in game one.
The ball never came up.
So it'll be 8-8-2, the score for Greg Dow's serve.
Okay, so when Scarpa gives Dow the ball down the line, he needs to get out of it right away and just go back hard cross court and then pinch and almost straddle that center line to Barrientos.
Yep.
And just keep him pinned over there. You can keep Scarpa honest once or twice, but get out of that pattern.
Good shot, compact attack there, or counter attack there from Loyd. Barrientos trying to speed that up on the backhand side. Loyd getting that one down.
That ball off the net and into the kitchen, so it'll be a side out here. So this game has been tied 4 times already. Tightly contested. Largest lead has been 3 for either team. Compare that to the men's semifinals we just saw, where there were a few games that Diescu and Nunnery built themselves a large lead. This game much tighter so far.
Nice finish there from Greg Dow in the middle. And a little let court through that point. A little off kilter.
So it's going to be Michael Loyd with the serve.
Good speed up, good spot there from Scarpa. Gets that just a little bit further out of the reach of Dow. He likes to kind of stay in that box in the body.
So it'll be a side out here. Barrientos with the chance to tie us up. Dow telling his
Run, partner,
no,
run.
You run for it.
You go.
You got it.
I'm not moving.
Neither of them needed to. Turns out ball was sailing long. A dink cross court left a little bit short, so our 5th tie here of game number 1 is we're at 9-all. 9-9-2 the score for Scarpa's serve.
Oh, almost.
Almost dug it out, did Anderson Scarpa, but instead it's side out here. Whoever wins this game 1, it is going to be a bitter defeat for the other team for how close this game has been, and that's
you can't have that one though.
the last thing you want to do.
But if you're going to have that, have it on.
I mean,
one,
have it on a serve, or have it on a serve compared to a return.
Correct, right?
Sure.
Have it on one. Have it. Hey, if you're being aggressive, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice ball right there from Scarpa.
And a side out without Greg Dow and Michael Loyd being able to add anything to their points.
Oh, it's right there.
If Scarpa gets it over, it's a winner.
And that's what I was going to say. If I was Scarpa and Barrientos right now, and Scarpa has the opportunity to speed up straight down the line to Dow.
Again.
Such a tough dink there from Scarpa. Again, it's that motion. It's a straight arm dink, but he's able to create backspin. That ball just slides through.
And it's a game point opportunity here. Barrientos with the serve.
Yeah.
And they do it right at the body of Greg Dow, Anderson Scarpa, and Mario Barrientos with a hard-fought Game 1 victory here in our men's doubles winners bracket semifinals. Game 2 when we come back.
Need to sell tickets for an event? From Sports Illustrated's official ticketing platform, introducing Box Office. Manage ticketing for sports, festivals, fundraisers, and more, paid or free. And we go beyond the barcode. Introducing Super Ticket. Super Tickets are secured by blockchain technology and transform into exclusive digital content, promotions, and rewards between the event and guests. Cheaper, better, simpler, more secure. Sports Illustrated Tickets. Partner with us for your next event.
Welcome back to the State Farm 2023 APP U.S. Indoor Championships. You are watching Professional Pickleball on ESPN+. This match going to decide who faces Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery in our men's doubles winners bracket final. Nunnery on deck over there, ready to go. Game 1 went to Mario Barrientos and Anderson Scarpa. Can they make it a clean 2? We'll see. Coming up.
We haven't had one yet.
Now, Greg Dow with the serve.
I almost said, where did Mario go? Because Mario changed from a black shirt to a blue shirt.
Well, so did Scarpa.
Well, Scarpa has to.
Well, Scarpa might be the sweatiest man alive.
Yeah, Scarpa has to, or else it is a hazard on the court. That's a great combo from Loyd, as long as he is expecting the counter back from Barrientos. When he is, and he slides to the spot, he's in a good position like that one right there.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Barrientos, if you speed up into the body, the ball's going to come back 99% of the time.
Even on that, he got jammed up, but it still comes back. Great hands there from Barrientos. Watch him get jammed up, still comes back, but creates some space too. You watch him back up a little bit, but when he hits the next ball too, what is he doing? His feet are planted, he's ready to go.
Oh my God.
A little double swing from Anderson Scarpa.
Scarpa was on it if it didn't hit the net cord, and then he still had time to adjust after it did.
Impressive.
That's great work there from Scarpa and Barrientos. They created the pace there. They moved Dow and Loyd around on their terms. Tied up here.
That ball left a little bit short by Scarpa, so on to their second serve.
Good attack there from Loyd. Rolls that backhand in the middle. Scarpa kind of shading the line just a little bit.
So side out, 2-2-1 the score for Greg Dow. Oh my. The Ernie there from Mario Barrientos.
Net cord, Ernie.
I was going to say, more impressive almost, because there was so much adjustment happening within that point.
Oh, that one just a little too far out of reach. Flicks at it, takes that wide with him.
Speed up there initiated by Michael Loyd.
Again, he slides to it nicely, but then the second counter goes right into the body of Greg Dow. Nothing Dow could do. Jed, you hit on it, and we've talked about it numerous times already in this match, and we're only in the beginning of game two. Can't test Barrientos' hands.
Well,
hands are so good.
especially when you go on cross court into the backhand as well. It gives him just a little bit more time to counter attack. Good spot there from Scarpa. Again, elevating right armpit there of Dow.
First lead of the game here for Barrientos and Scarpa.
So the hard part against playing Barrientos is he's a little bit unorthodox as far as his motion, but you almost have to play him like he's a lefty, because he's so much stronger on the backhand side that it's almost like that lefty forehand, and then you work the forehand side. Whereas when you look at him as right-handed, you're like, oh, I'm going to attack the backhand, or I'm going to attack through the middle, and he's right there on top of it.
Well, that's why when we talked about halfway through the first game, when Dow sits on that center line and pushes Barrientos to his forehand and forces him to hit the forehand,
Yeah.
it's like playing him as a lefty. It's going to, and it's not saying his forehand is weak, but I
It's
would
just
say
the weaker of the two.
I'd want to play to his forehand, and so Dow needs to get in there, sit on that center service line, and push Barrientos that way.
So it's a 5-3 lead here. Timeout called on the court by Greg Dow, trying to break up this rhythm. It's a little 3-0 run here that Barrientos and Scarpa have put together, which in some games is not that many points. But if we learn nothing from game one, it's quite a lot between these two teams.
A 2-point lead is big right now.
Exactly. So the fact that they have it and it's in the middle of a 3-0 run, I think a smart timeout call. Let's see what happens coming out of it. Mario Barrientos with the serve.
It's a good counter there for Greg Dow. And again, wrong spot speed up there for Scarpa. You're almost playing Barrientos and Dow exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Little combo effort there in the middle. Barrientos and Scarpa to get the point. So it's a 6-3-2 lead for Anderson Scarpa's serve.
Ooh, that was
It looked out.
close to being out, if not out.
Friendly call from Barrientos. We'll get a good view of it here.
Oh, right on the line.
Yeah.
Outside part of the line.
Oh.
Oh, swing and a miss there from Scarpa, but just a little too much power there from Loyd. Again, take that down the line, go just outside right shoulder there on Barrientos.
Dow's got to pinch a little more middle and take that because Loyd got pulled so far to the sideline. Dow's got to come over and punch that down with his backhand.
6-3-1, the score for Barrientos serve.
Better ball there from Michael Loyd. Doesn't give Scarpa the opportunity to really put anything on that cross-court dink.
Oh, goodness.
Nice move there from Dow. Scarpa had lit him up at the body a couple times already, but I don't think he didn't really jump on that one. He slid. The other times he was jumping and he was in the air, he slides his body to the side to clear himself, punches that backhand out.
Rushed it. Too much body movement there from Loyd. Yeah, take that one out of the air and if you get the opportunity for a flick, but it's not a full-on attack. Ooh, he wants that one back.
So out of the timeout, I believe Barrientos and Scarpa got one more point, but then a side out forced, and now a point of their own for Dow and Loyd.
Oh, wow.
Make it 2.
Ball right on the line there. Scarpa tries to pull that back in. Can't do it.
So what once was a 3-point lead is now down to just 1. Greg Dow with the serve, an opportunity to tie things up.
Loyd standing just a little too tall. That See the paddle go back behind the hip.
6-5-1. Little friendly fire there off the paddle of Michael Loyd into the body of Greg Dow. Scarpa leaving that reset just a little bit short. So it'll be Anderson Scarpa now with the serve and the 2-point lead.
Ooh, just gets it off the edge of the paddle, but Scarpa has to go cross body on that speed up there. Trying to go middle, and a good job by Dow working the forehand there, Barrientos.
So it'll be Michael Loyd with the serve here. (5-7-2) the score for Loyd. Sorry, 5-7-1. Sheesh.
Oh, off the tape, off the chest of Barrientos. Loyd will take that all day. And probably about 5 more times if he can.
Yeah, the hand up is like, I'm sort of almost sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Not even close.
But
Not even close.
I'm pretending to be polite.
It's more sorry. I didn't mean to hit you that way. I was trying to hit you cleaner.
Yes.
Oh, Mario Barrientos.
Nice inside out.
Change of direction. Look at that.
Quick acceleration.
Whew. A well-placed ball. Now it is 6-7-2.
Yeah, not the speed up right there because of the fact that the ball was so close to the net, and you watch Scarpa sit on this forehand. Sitting all over that right there. It was the only spot he could speed up that he would try and even remotely keep the ball in play.
So it's 7-6-1 for Scarpa's serve.
Good talk there from Loyd telling Dow, no, let that ball go.
And doing it with enough time for Dow to adjust.
Yeah.
Good spot there from Loyd after the quick hands from Barrientos.
So it'll be Greg Dow with the serve, trying to tie things up here in game 2.
Was caught in...
Wasn't sure what he wanted to do.
Yeah, was caught in a bad position and couldn't go around the post, then had to try and flick it up over the post and goes a little too hard.
Pushes them onto their second serve. Dow immediately after he puts his paddle out would like to take it back, telling himself to leave it. Instead, it's a side out here. Barrientos and Scarpa have been sitting at 7 for a few service sides. Try to change that here.
Pretty sure Loyd hit the out ball on the first one.
Yeah.
Let go of the second one, though.
Great dig from Scarpa in the middle of that on the two-hander. So they're going to replay that point, though. That ball died on.
No, I don't think
Michael,
that ball died. I think that was a spin bounce more than a inconsistent bounce.
So walk us through why it would be a replay.
So,
or why it is a replay, sorry.
Because of the nature of the surface, there's at times inconsistencies with the bounce. So if a ball happens to not come up within a certain range,
sure,
then the referees have been allowing for a replay of the point.
And those replays are initiated, not replay, but though that point is initiated by the player and the referee has to agree that it didn't bounce as well, then it's a replay.
The only thing that I'm finding difficult is that it's the referee's job to be watching the kitchen. So they're not always watching those balls that are deeper than the kitchen.
Correct. They're not always watching those. We've been on 7-6 for some time.
This is the third service side that will start at 7-6 with Mario Barrientos and Anderson Scarpa in the lead and on to the second serve.
Yeah, Barrientos just rushed through that drop.
Nice angle there from Dow on the counter. Again, no points awarded on that service game.
Impressive defense there from Greg Dow and Michael Loyd. What do they need to do offensively?
That.
Oh, that.
That right there.
Exactly that.
That, AJ.
I answered
right
my
there.
They scored a point.
Get a point. Now get another. And you're on a roll.
No, it's a good 1-2 combination there from Dow. Actually speeds up off of the forehand side and then the quick punch again on the backhand. Oh, you got that one back as well. And that one.
If you go back to the overhead from Dow, he went to the wrong spot.
Yeah.
He went to Barrientos, who was completely retreated, and Scarpa was sitting in the transition area. You have to go with the up person on that. He had a huge overhead. He gave Barrientos the ball. He has more time to react to it. That's why they got back in that point.
Great defense played in the middle there, too, by Scarpa. And
oh, my.
Big drive.
Barrientos.
Yeah, it's a perfect drive there from Loyd as well. He's catching Scarpa still moving as he's uncoiling from the stack.
8-7-2, the score for Loyd.
Wrong spot now. How
Another
many
look
times
at it.
how many times have we seen Scarpa sitting on that forehand, just ready to attack straight down the line?
So that was the first lead that Dow and Loyd have had in this game since it was 3-2.
Nice reach in there for Michael Loyd, using every inch there to reach in, put that ball away.
Ooh, I think he got away with one.
Yeah.
Barrientos just a little too upright there.
So it'll be a side out here. Greg Dow with an opportunity to extend this lead.
Nice spot there from Scarpa. Again, getting Dow leaning to that sideline.
So it's a double up on the same spot, but the second one goes back crossbody, and you see the elbow come up for Scarpa. Once it straightens out, it's always going to go across the body.
Great angle taken there by Anderson Scarpa.
Oh, Loyd was going to call for tough bounce there again.
Seven, 9-1. Side out instead. Great placement there by Loyd right down the middle.
He's found that spot at least 2 or 3 times in the last 5 minutes.
Well, the issue there is that Scarpa's hips are facing Dow right there as he's coming forward. So Loyd's able to get that behind him just enough. Whereas when Dow's speeding up at Scarpa, he's already sitting there, he's ready to go.
So now it's Barrientos and Scarpa with an opportunity to tie us up.
He's got to let Loyd take that ball in the middle. Does Dow. He jumped back in here. Not that one. That one right there.
Creates space on the sideline. Anderson Scarpa sees it, takes advantage to tie us up at 9-all here in game number 2. Mario Barrientos with the serve. Mario Barrientos fired up after that point, as he should be. Timeout called on the court because after a hard-fought game 2, yet again, Barrientos and Scarpa find themselves in the exact same position they were in game 1. They have a 10-9 lead. They won game 1. On this next point, can they do it here? What do Scarpa and Barrientos need to make sure they do coming out of this timeout to finish this game?
I would play it right here. If Scarpa has the opportunity on the forehand to speed it up crossbody on Dow on that forehand side, what he can't afford to do is speed it up to the backhand that he's done a few times.
Sure.
If Barrientos is being isolated a little bit here, needs to move that ball around, kind of bait Loyd into speeding up into that body so he can sit on it and counter. On the reverse for Dow and Loyd, isolate Barrientos' backhand. Loyd's had a couple of good attacks as Scarpa's coming forward through that middle.
So we'll see if they can put it away right here. Mario Barrientos with the serve.
Oh my goodness.
Well defended by Michael Loyd, and Greg Dow gets over the head of Barrientos. Does this drop? And Scarpa tries to get there off the edge guard. Can't do it. Side out.
The accidental lob.
That's the second accidental lob we've seen today. Susanna Barr,
right.
Megan Fudge had one. At an important juncture of that match, too.
Dow just a little too tall there.
Scarpa sends that right into the net, and now we are tied at 10.
It's tough right there to not pull the trigger once you've already committed to the speed up, but once that ball got behind Scarpa, needed to go a little bit softer. Oh, get out of the way. He cut that elevated ball on Barrientos. Ball was definitely going out.
Even with that, it hit him. It hit his head, but he did look like he had his paddle up a little bit.
It got his paddle before it hit his head.
They do tie it up and now force a second server. Do Dow and Loyd. That's all because of his return. His return puts so much pressure on Scarpa. Scarpa hits a mediocre third. Loyd able to reach in, punish that fourth.
So an opportunity here for Dow and Loyd to take the lead, but the forehand third left a little short.
Well, Loyd tries to rush through that third right there. You see him trying to move to the line before he's even executed.
Figured that one out.
We might be going 3 here, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's because Greg Dow and Michael Loyd have game point opportunity on their paddle. Not if Anderson Scarpa has anything to say about it.
Too good with that flick right there is Scarpa.
That ball just sitting up a little too high, but Scarpa makes the adjustment of going just outside the right hip there on Dow. Not able to come across and counter it or even reset it.
10-11-1 for Barrientos serve.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
No freebies at this point.
Wow, what a placement. So just like that, points that were so hard to come by for the majority of this game, Scarpa and Barrientos get 2 of them really quickly and now just need 1 more to win the match. And they get it done. Woo. Anderson Scarpa and Mario Barrientos with the hard-fought victory over Greg Dow and Michael Loyd. And for the as a prize for the winners, you get to face Andre Diescu and Rob Nunnery, the men's doubles winners bracket final. We're going to hear from Barrientos and Scarpa when we come back here at the State Farm 2023 APP US Indoor Championships. Don't go anywhere.
We save time when we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Which means more time
Take a check.
Kyle, it's pickleball.
Every time. 002.
Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com. Retirement. It's not all one big vacation. It's great to find purpose by trying a new activity. Keep an active social life, but don't forget to make new friends too. As always, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Isn't it wonderful to be retired?
The APP is presented by Lexus, AARP, and PowerPlate.
And we taking a look at match point here for Barrientos and Scarpa. Escaped a game 2 game point. And then just a little too much spin there from Scarpa kicking up into Loyd. And we see the chest bump from Barrios and Scarpa. They're moving on. They'll take on Nunnery and Diascu. And Dominic Catalano's courtside with our winners.
All right, here courtside, Mario Barrientos, Anderson Scarpa. Congratulations, moving on to that winner bracket final. I mean, what a match, a battle, 11-9, 13-11. Mario, it was tight the whole time. Confidence in Scarpa and you guys playing together. What is it like with him, knowing he's going to be solid on that left side?
Yeah, I told him before it started, I was like, hey, you play your left side, I trust you. Get your drops in, and I trust you're going to get most of them in, and we're good. As long as we get in, as long as we get up to the kitchen, we're going to win. And that's what happened.
And then Anderson playing with someone who's so good with his backhand, knowing that we were talking in the booth that Mario's almost like having a lefty on court when his backhand is sitting there in the middle. How confident is it for you to play next to him?
Yeah, Mario's a great player. I've thought that for a long time, so I'm glad we're able to partner up for this one. His backhand's sick. Like, anytime you get it up here, he's going to put it away. So it's been a great tournament so far. Hope we can keep it going.
And then, Mario, moving on to winner bracket final, you got Andre Diascu and Rob Nunnery. What do you think about that matchup coming up next?
They better watch out. We're coming hot.
Well, you heard it here first. Mario's putting a warning out to Diascu and Nunnery for the men's winner bracket final. We'll take a quick break. Women's winner bracket final here on Championship Court. Don't go anywhere.